From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBICD PrimeTime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. And this is the PrimeTime Angles Live. And you know what? It is Monday. And so, you know what? I got to bring in the man himself, the Don of Cape Cod, Mr. Jeff Dawson. And let's go ahead. And it was fun in the NFL. So let's hear what Jeff has to say about it. And pretty much what's going on, Mr. Dawson. How's everything going, sir? I hope all is well.
Crazy weekend here. 4-0 in the circuit contest. We bang out the Saints. We bang out the Dolphins. We take the Browns. We have the Rams, and we get the Eagles plus 3.5 tonight for the 5-0 sweep. NFL Bet Exchange 10-5 again this week. 32-15 to start the year. We're at about 68%. Couldn't be happier. NFL's been very, very good to us so far. We're ready, Pops.
All right. So, as I showed out yesterday, the primetime tickets that I usually put out each and every Sunday for the NFL. Yesterday, we were so close with our dog bets because we've been doing well with the dog bets all season. We were able to sweep the board yesterday, hit a 42-1 ticket. Thank you to the awesome comeback from the Packers last night. We'll talk about that in a moment. But, Mr. Rodgers, we were so heavy on your case, but I needed you last night because, pretty much it seemed like the right spot. It's NBC, and, all the theater was there for a great, great moment. So that worked out pretty well. But let's go talk about it, man. We got some big news kind of in the NFL. We have the team that's supposed to be the front runner for the Super Bowl this year, now losing their second game in a row. Chargers pull off the upset 30-24 yesterday. Justin Herbert has himself a game, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 281 passing yards yesterday. And Michael Williams, not that Mike Williams from USC, the one from Clemson, had himself a game yesterday as well, too, also scoring the go-ahead touchdown yesterday. And, pretty much this game was one that I had picked as the dog bet of the week and everything like that. And I was relying on the fact that, the Kansas City Chiefs defenses have been struggling mightily. And maybe that this Chargers defense knew a couple things to kind of not stop Mahomes, but kind of keep him in check. And all that worked out yesterday, but they did need that final drive to win the game. Jeff, what was your thoughts on that one?
Well, I think we need to pump the brakes on the Chiefs. We can't live on the past. You want to go back to the Super Bowl where their O-line and their defense struggled. You want to go to this year. They should be 0-3, Pops. We talked about it a minute ago. The Browns should have beat them opening day. Yesterday would have been 3 losses in a row. The Ravens beat them the week before. Your 2 best teams in the AFC, in my eyes, and I don't even think, honestly, that even this second team has 1 loss. But the 2 best teams in the AFC are the Bills, who are 2-1, and the Browns. Yes, I said the Browns that are 2-1. I know there's a couple 3-0 teams out there, but for the Chiefs, listen, guys, you got to shore up that defense. We know that the offensive line is still struggling. 2 weeks in a row now, Tyreek's been shut down, and this team goes as far as Mahomes and Tyreek, and then Kels, and then CEH, and the rest falls into place. So great call on your part. Herbert looked a little shaky last week, even though they still should have beat Dallas. They just wiped it off, turned the page, and they came into Arrowhead Stadium, and they took care of business. Great win for them.
Now, I'm looking at the stats right now, and this is alarming because The Chiefs had 15 more total plays. They had 12 more first downs than the Chargers as well yesterday. And they were better on third down as well, too. And they had 437 total yards. So it's nothing wrong with the offense. It's all based on the defense. And then when you looked at it, the defense didn't give up 100 yards rushing yesterday. They didn't give up 300 yards passing yesterday either. But it was the critical moments, the critical decisions that the defense was making that made it turn into the situation. Not enough time, not enough sacks, not enough pressure on the quarterback. And, the Chargers even have more penalties. That's crazy.
What was the turnovers?
The turnover rate, we had 4 turnovers by the Chiefs, and that's the difference in the game.
That's the game.
You got 2 picks from Mahomes, and he had a couple fumbles as well, too.
That's the game.
Hey, and that's the ball game for you right there. You look at it, you tell yourself the Chiefs should have won the game by 10 points. Mm-hmm. So they're not that far away. You know what I mean? If you're a Chiefs fan, don't panic too much. This is September, and you can have a bad month like this later on in the season to be a 12-0 team. It happens. So pretty much, I ain't gonna dog out y'all favorite quarterback today. I'll let him live, but he was a reason why they lost the game yesterday though too. Just a little reason, not a big reason, but we'll see how it goes next week for those guys. Chargers got themselves 2 tough games in a row. Raiders Monday night, then the Browns, but both games will be at the friendly confines of SoFi, somewhere where they don't play well at, but still, they'll try to figure something out. And then you got the Chiefs next week. They're not in a national game, are they? Because if they're in a national game, they'll win. But next week they'll be at Philly. It's a good bounce back spot. We'll talk about that in a moment too. Philly and Dallas in a moment. All right, we move on and let's go ahead and jump into our next game. Rams make easy work of the Bucs, 34-24. As are they the best in the NFC at this point? Jeff, your thoughts? I'll let you kick this one
off. I'll give them the lean, yes. I think if the 49ers would have pulled off last night, if take away the 37 seconds, and Mason Crosby misses the kick, I would have leaned the Niners. I've said all along preseason, I'll say it up to now. I mean, I know the Bucs are the anointed favorite, but I think the AFC West, the NFC West is the strongest conference, and I think it was going to come down to the Rams and the Niners. So we'll give the Rams the nod there. I mean, the blueprint's simple: put pressure on Brady, get out early, and right now we said this preseason, we say it every week. McVay has his quarterback. He was drooling all off season and preseason. Never had a quarterback like this. Stafford can make all the throws, and him to Cooper Kupp right now is, I hate to say it, is the best combo in the NFL right now. And it's that 19 yard out to the left side, right side, doesn't matter. No one can stop it. And Sony got his feet wet. Henderson bruised ribs, whatever it is. With Donald, with that defense, they're going to be a tough out, Pops.
Yeah, it's an overall. Yesterday, the Rams showed how complete of a team they are. They showed really no weaknesses on any positions that they had on the field yesterday. Great offensive line, great quarterback, great running back, a great receiver core. I thought the receiver core wasn't really I knew Cooper Kupp was really good. Robert Woods is very good as well too, but they're not, box office names. You know what I mean? But they can. But with the way this thing is working out now, and this being LA, Hollywood, they are going to become box office names very, very soon because these guys are absolutely killing it. But I think the biggest moment yesterday for the Rams was Deshaun Jackson showing that he's not an old man, that he can still, smoke a safety deep. You know what I mean? And it wasn't once, it was twice. And they were able to open up that play about 3 or 4 times yesterday whenever Stafford wanted it. And this is exactly what the Rams envisioned when they moved into the stadium, that they will be the superior, dominant force in the NFL. You know what I mean? And to where this wasn't just going to be some you rolling in SoFi, what a pretty stadium, and you bulldoze the home team. No, we're going to make this a house of horrors for you. Yeah, we got a pretty stadium and everything, but we're going to come kick your butt. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like when the Lakers moved into Staples. It's just electric already. You know what I mean? And it's really a very fun thing to watch. And that's what I'm speaking on more than anything, that the fans showed up and showed out for the Rams yesterday. And you didn't think that was going to happen, but it did. And the Rams are now up there. You know what I mean? The Rams are up there in the room now with the Lakers and the Dodgers. And people are getting more and more excited every week. But that was a big event yesterday. Tom Brady being there, being seen as the GOAT, all that good stuff. People showed up to make sure they watch the game, and that's exactly what Stan Kroenke and the Rams organization envisioned when they moved into that stadium. You never want to get the whole glow of things until you really, moved into that new stadium. The LA Coliseum is 100 some odd years old, so it didn't have the same aura to it. So it's great to see that happen, and that was a big win for the Rams in the new stadium as well too.
No doubt.
Yeah, so pretty much let's go ahead and we can move on and talk about that game from last night. That was on Sunday Night Football. OMG. And the Packers actually jumped out to a pretty early lead. They was up 17-0 to start the game. Then the Niners get a late touchdown. The crowd goes crazy because it was Trey Lance. And then you have every 49er fan running to Twitter talking about don't take him out. Jimmy
Just have Justin Fields.
Right. Then Jimmy G. I was going to bring that up as a topic, but I didn't want to bust out on old poor Justin but one thing about that, and I'll let you put your point down too before we get into this. I think that it was more about the Browns defensive line yesterday than about how bad the Bears offensive line really was, to be honest with you. That was an absolutely stellar performance from both Clowney and Garrett yesterday. And Garrett, it's nothing you can do about that. Jeff, I know you remember the Derek Thomas game, Sunday Night Football, ESPN, and he absolutely rough-shedded Jeff George for a whole 4 quarters. They had to literally Jeff George literally. I don't know how he didn't go out on a stretcher. Seriously.
Sometimes when you ask for something, you almost, you cringe when you actually see it. So instead of crushing Justin Fields today on social media, everyone is crushing Nagy. They want Nagy's head. It's Nagy. First of all, it was Dalton. Why are you playing Dalton when you got Justin Fields? Well, now Dalton gets hurt. They bring in Justin Fields. That line went from 9.5 to 7. It was like I couldn't get enough of the Browns yesterday. It was just like I keep telling you, they're the team. If they got to go to Buffalo, that's going to be one thing. But I think the Browns are that team. Buffalo made the next step last year. They're the team to beat right now in the AFC, I think. But I'm telling you, the Browns are the team offensively and defensively that I think have the team to win the AFC. And yesterday they just proved it. You got Justin Fields. Good luck. It's not the coach. What are you going to do? It's like every time they want to fire the Dallas coach or whatever coach it is. It's not the damn coach. You wanted Fields, you got Fields, and that's what you got. So you make the bed, you sleep in the bed. So hats off to the Browns. Justin, you're going to be a great quarterback in this NFL. You're not ready. Look at Mac Jones yesterday. Kid, you're not ready. But they want to play the kids. I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is ready, but there's nowhere else they can go anyways. But we could talk for hours.
Any quarterback will be bad in Jacksonville right now. We both know this. Because the offensive scheme in Jacksonville is terrible.
He's doing it ass backwards. He's doing it ass backwards. You need to establish the run. You got James Robinson there. He can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. Okay? Establish the run to create the lanes. Don't use Lawrence to try to fit it through these little holes, which you can't right now. And then try to stuff the run in. He's doing it ass backwards.
And we don't even need to talk about Zach Wilson because we already knew Zach Wilson was going to be like this anyway. We knew this was going to happen. Yeah, at the end of the day, the Jets did not build themselves up to be a contender at all this season. But Aaron Rodgers went ahead and he shut up pretty much all the critics that think that they thought he was washed up or he's not trying hard enough or he doesn't want to be in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is a baller. And when you're a baller, it don't matter where you play at. Ballers ain't going to keep embarrassing themselves. First game of the season, understood. No preseason, no none of that, okay? And he goes in there, they're absolutely flat. Everybody was flat because none of them played in preseason. None of them got the reps that they needed to get. And boom, New Orleans was a team that had to move around a lot. And those guys were angry opening day. So that it made a whole lot of sense of why they won that game. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But last night, that was a la Aaron Rodgers for real right there. Jeff, what were your thoughts on that one?
When they scored the touchdown, I don't care, no timeouts. 37 seconds. It's like if Brady gets the ball with 37 seconds, you know what's going to happen if Mahomes gets the ball with 37 seconds. If Baltimore didn't go for it last week and they punted, Mahomes was going to win that game. It's just the way it goes. So you play the bend, don't break. He's going to find two spots, and he did both times to Adams. Spiked the ball. Mason drills it from 51. Game over. Game over.
Game over. And, but when you look at the game, the Packers dominated. And it was something, but San Francisco's still that team at the end of the day. They are still a team that you have to reckon with, that they're going to play their absolute, they're going to play their hearts out. And I think that they don't need to start the controversy at the quarterback position at all. Jimmy G led you to a Super Bowl. Stop being spoiled brats, 49er fans. Seriously. I think that they do this because they're getting the Kaepernick vibes. Mm-hmm. They're thinking about Colin Kaepernick right now. And Trey Lance took a whole year off of college football. If you throw him in a game, a full game against, say, the Rams, you're going to be Justin Fields all over again. Most definitely. And the thing that helped out Jimmy G last night was Sermon being such an effective runner last night, and Deebo Samuels being Deebo Samuels last night as well too. The 49ers have a lot of playmakers in a sense, but they're we build up next man up type of team, great scheme on both sides of the ball because we got great players on both sides of the ball. So the 49ers, you don't worry about them too much. Last night, that game went exactly how that game was supposed to go. And a lot of people had to just understand that whoever had the ball last was going to win the game and went for either side last night. So it is what it is at the end of the day. Just appreciate the fact that we had a great game last night. A lot of people, it doesn't really matter about bad secondaries. It doesn't matter about, Jimmy G still led you down the field to get you in position to win the game. So stop being mad about the situation at hand and just embrace it, because the 49ers could be back in the Super Bowl with Jimmy G leading them back to the Super Bowl. And then if you win the Super Bowl, are you going to get rid of them? It's just hold your horses, San Francisco. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? And that was a good game last night. I think that they didn't finish the way that they were supposed to finish last night, because look at the two games that both these teams played. And I think that when you look at it, you had the Packers playing against a tough Saints team to start the season off. And then they had to go against a rival in the Lions the next week. And so I think they were mentally prepared for this 49er game. Niners had an easy week 1 with the Lions. And the second week of the season, they won by 6, but that game was kind of easy too. You know what I mean? They knew that they could win the game the whole time. So this was finally playing against another elite team, and San Francisco just didn't pass tests. It's just that simple.
They were 37 seconds away from passing the test after failing the first half. So that
Right.
I think they passed the second half test. They just didn't run enough clock out.
Right. I'm not, no, I know the 49ers are to be reckoned with. They're going to be one of the best teams in the NFL this year. They're going to be a tough out. You don't want to really play in Santa Clara in the playoffs as well, too. So, you know, San Francisco has a great scheme. They have some of the best players in the NFL because they were fortunate enough to draft in the top 10 for like 5 years straight. So, and all those players have stuck around. So, and they've actually prospered. Well, not all of them. Solomon Thomas is now with the Raiders. So, you know, but all in all, though, they've done well. And I think last night, Aaron Rodgers just pretty much had to go ahead and make people just move on from bad games. We can't talk about the Saints game forever.
They'll
All
find a bad one next. You watch.
right. All right. We move on. All right. So we got the Monday Night Football preview tonight. We got the Eagles at the Cowboys, one of the biggest rivalries in all of sports. Well, everybody in this is the only division where every team is a rival with one team. Literally, literally, like Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Cowboys, Redskins, Cowboys, all bad blood in these games, pretty much point blank. I'll let you kick it off, Jeff. What are your thoughts going into this game? What are the keys to victory?
Eagles first road game, Cowboys first home game. What sticks out to me with the Cowboys is I think their defense has looked a lot better than I thought they would be. Tough game against the Bucs, and then they pull off the late heroics against the Chargers. A game they probably should have lost, but they did win. And now they come in 4-point favorites against an Eagles team. I think this game here is going to be how much pressure the Eagles front seven can put on Dak. If they can get him off his spot, put him under some pressure, make him stop bobbing and weaving, and Hurts wins the turnover battle. I always talk about the turnover battle. I like the Eagles in this spot. They need to get out early, establish himself, establish some Sanders. Get him off and run him, hit some nice plays to the tight ends. Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor's had a good start to the year, and have the defense, maybe get a pick here and there, get a few sacks. I think the Eagles are primed here. I mean, Vegas is saying 28-24. Philly, I kind of like Philly in like a 27-23 game tonight, Pops.
And it's funny because from what I saw, the Cowboys are almost getting 80% of the handle tonight. And I think the reason being is because the excitement from the Thursday night football game, the excitement from last Sunday's game against the Chargers. So everybody feels like this is the spot where the Cowboys will probably be able to be real dominant tonight because it's ESPN, it's Monday Night Football, it's the Cowboys, it's being overhyped, it's all this and all that, and da 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 da. And we keep acting like Deion Sanders is playing tonight, and Michael Irvin's playing tonight. And dude, this ain't 1995, and this is ABC, dude. Sorry. The Eagles got a prime opportunity to come up in here and bust the Cowboys in their mouth tonight. Jalen Hurts can play keep away all night long if he wants to against this raggedy Cowboys defense. Yeah, I said it because they're a raggedy defense. But the reason why the Cowboys defense keeps looking good in games, they're getting takeaways. That always disguises a bad defense is when you can get takeaways. If you're able to get turnovers, things like that, getting stops ain't that big of a deal sometimes because you can always figure out a way to get a big play during the game. You're just not going to be one of those choke you out type of defenses like the Ravens used to be. You know what I mean? Because Ravens defense has been awful too, but they were good yesterday against the Lions. But all in all, though, I love the Eagles tonight, Jeff. It's really hard for me to not say Eagles, and some more Eagles tonight. And it says -4, but it is at 3.5 right now, from what I know. And the over under here, Jeff, I don't know because the Eagles haven't went over all season. They didn't go over week 1. They 39 points. Week 2, 28 in total points. So the defensive edge goes to the Eagles, in my opinion, tonight.
Again, it's a public, and Monday night special. They're all in on Dallas and they're all in on the over. And I don't think the Eagles can win this game if they got to put up 28 or 30 points. I think they got to keep doing what they're doing, play some keep away, like you said, establish Sanders. Jalen, run the ball when you need to. Dink and dunk to Smith, Rager, Goddard, Ertz, and go in there, get yourself 23, 24 points, 27 if you need them at the most, and, hold to Dallas to 20, 21, 23, and walk out of there with a nice win and 2-1 and get ready for next week.
And there it is. And this game is so critical because Washington already has their division win. This is now up to the Cowboys need this momentum right now badly, and I think it could shoot them in the foot because the Eagles have aspirations of winning the NFC East as well. And if anybody that other than the Cowboys can say they can win this division, I would say it's the Eagles. So this is a good matchup tonight for the division overall. So I look forward to it. I can't wait for it. The NFL has been so exciting this season, Jeff. It's been absolutely great. They said it was going to be the greatest season ever, and it is living up to the billing.
I agree.
All right. So with that, that's leaving on a good note. And when we get back, we're going to talk about some MLB Pennant Races since we only got 5 games a day. And we're going to have some quick top 10 college football reviews as well, too. So you guys stay tuned. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show. The Primetime Angles live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, Mr. Jeff Dawson. And we will be right back to you in a moment. And you guys stay tuned.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, we're back with the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and the man himself, the Don of Cape Cod, Mr. Jeff Dawson. Pennant Races, Jeff. 7 days left in the well, not 7, actually 6, right? No, it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 and 7. All right, so we got 7 days left in the season, Jeff. And we have races. We have races that can be settled either on the field or through different circumstances. I want to talk about the ones that can be settled on the field. You got the Philadelphia Phillies in grind mode this week. This week is the most important week for the Phillies in years, to be honest with you. They're 2.5 games back. The Braves, always on shaky ground. You know, the Braves are not that – the Braves been good. Probably one of the best teams in the last 2 months of the season. So they find themselves 2.5 games up and a finale series this weekend with Philadelphia. do you think that we get ourselves the de facto NL East championship this weekend?
I think they'll start the series where the Phillies will still have a chance. I mean, talked about it this morning on the show with Scotty on the Breakfast Bankroll, and at the break, the Phillies didn't do anything to help themselves. I mean, they knew they needed starting pitching and back end help, and they didn't do either. I mean, they've been living off of, Bryce Harper and his heroics, and I think it's a team at the end of the season that's going to look and say, they're going to fall a game short, a game and a half short. When they face Morton and some of the tougher pitchers, I don't think they're going to get it done. I hope the series means something. I think it will, but I think it's going to be where the Phillies are going to need a sweep to be able to get in against the Braves, and I don't see it happening, Bubs.
And then you have the AL wild card race. Unbelievable. Red Sox, Yankees, a game apart. Then you got the Blue Jays, a game behind the Red Sox. Then you got the Mariners, a game behind the Blue Jays. Then you have the A's, a game behind the Mariners. It's like, whoa, this can change. It's for these teams to have a bad week and one of them have a good week, then one of them is getting into the play. Then somebody's going to the playoffs this week. You know what I mean? Now, I think the A's are well out of it. They're 3 games back. It's going to be tough to make up that ground. But the Mariners and Blue Jays, there could just be a few bad games from the Red Sox and Yankees, and wow, they're back in it with a few wins this week. But they got to have the numbers make sense this week. It says, do any of those 4 teams overtake the Yankees or Red Sox, or the Yankees and Red Sox due for this matchup, this wild card matchup?
I'm going to give you a crazy scenario. Toronto plays the Yankees, and then the Yankees play the Rays. Now, the Rays won't have anything to play for other than sitting there pitching up. So I'll give you the crazy, crazy scenario. Red Sox play the Jays in a 1-game playoff to see who plays the Yankees in the wild card game. How's that one, Greg?
Absolutely nuts. And I would be so proud of the Mariners if they were able to make that move and get that second wild card spot, because I think I was probably one of the highest people on the Mariners since my 30 clubs in 30 days. You know what I mean? I said that they could be a good team if they could just put it all together. They had a lot of good young talent there, a lot of fun young talent there. Then they started off so well this season. And as I told people, I said that this is a fun bunch. You know what I mean? It's a very different group. You know what I mean? It's a lot of different faces in here. You know what I mean? It's a lot of young players. And it's a lot of guys that are a part of this kind of new wave, a new era of baseball, the Tatises of the world, and, guys that have fun in the dugout. You know what I mean? But they had to get a little serious, and they did. And that's exactly why, they should tip their cap. Their season's much better than anybody expected. They had them winning like maybe 67 games this year, and they went well over that. You know what I mean? So they got to just go ahead. You got to give them a round of applause just for being here. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
No, I think Seattle's moving in the right direction. They got some good young pitching, some good young talent with some seasoned veterans. They're moving in the right direction. They're in a tough division, obviously, with Houston and the White Sox. No, I'm not sorry, the White Sox. With Houston, and we know the Angels and Oakland. Yeah, but it is what it is. But I think, again, in the AL East, Tampa's been the talk of the town that no one wants to talk about. The Yankees find some late inning heroics Saturday and Sunday to sweep the Red Sox, so now they're a game ahead. But the Red Sox get the Orioles, then the Nationals. So the Sox have the opportunity to have a great week this week and then get themselves in. But any fumbles, any little mishaps, they could be playing a play-in game against, say, like the Jays or Mariners could end up passing them. But the Mariners got Oakland too. So Oakland's got some payback coming as well. So in the end, I think it will still be the Yankees versus the Red Sox. But my little wrinkle in this is a Monday Jays versus Red Sox. Winner plays Yankees in that wild card to face the Rays. That's my take on that.
And the National League playoff race has been settled for some time now, really, to me. You know what I mean? Because when you look at the National League, you really only have about, I would say, 7 teams that have played above 500 ball all year long. And then you have 3 teams that just really ran away with the whole thing this year. The Dodgers, the Giants, and the Brewers. They've done what they wanted all season long. But when you look at everybody else, they kind of got to play the middle. And then I see 4 teams with 90 losses or better this year. And you got you got Arizona losing 106 this year, and Baltimore as well, too. And then you have 92 losses for Washington, 97, 91 for Miami. So and it looks like the Cubs might be 100 loss team this year too. They're 11 games away from that, but they'll probably end up 95, 93 losses on the year. But all in all, though, the Dodgers sitting pretty, 100 wins, 100-win wild card team at right now. And you get angry because you're like, the Braves should be playing in that game because the Braves are 83 and 72.
Well,
So
I mean, Pops, I've been saying for a couple weeks now. I mean, let's be realistic here. Okay, we talked now for 5.5 months. When are the Dodgers going to catch the Giants? It's not going to happen. We understand that. But do you want to be that 100+ win team to face the Cardinals right now, who have won 16 in a row? Now, I don't know what they're going to do the rest of this week, but this team just doesn't know how to lose right now. So whether it's Wainwright, whether it's Flaherty, they brought Lester and Happ over that are winning now. So my point is they got veterans all around that ballpark with O'Neill that's hitting the lights out. So in a one game, I know you got Mad Max. So if you're in that wild card game, you throw Mad Max, you get 7 or 8 shutout innings, and you hope you win 1-0 or 2-0. But anything can happen, and it would just shake the baseball world, where the defending World Series champs, 100+ wins, are not playing in the next series. I mean, so it's going to be interesting for sure, Pops.
All right, but we'll see, though. When you say they can't catch him, it's 2 games, Jeff. It's only 2 games, dog. And,
for 5.5 months.
We're going to really see who the Giants are this week, because they're in a tough situation this week.
Pops, they've been doing it all year.
I know, but it's 7 games left in the year. Come on, man. You live in Boston. You saw what happened to the Red Sox that one year. Tampa Bay caught them. They were 11 games up and they got caught.
Listen, I've lived there a few times here. Times.
Angels 12 games up, got caught. So we'll see.
We've been saying this for 5.5 months. Okay, there's something about the Giants team. I don't know what it is. I mean, the veterans are playing above their skis. The rooks and the 2-3 year guys are just chipping in. It's a bunch of no names that I'm telling you, 95% of the world's never seen this team play once this year, and they just keep winning. And yeah, listen, if you caught them, God bless you. But I'm just telling you right now, it's been a hell of a story. I'd love to see them hold on, win the division. I want to see you play in that one game, 27 outs, to make it to the next round. And listen, you're loaded. You're the favorite not to just win the NL. You're the favorite to win the World Series. You're the defending champs. Pony up, play the games, play the 162. If you're in that game, go get them. That's all.
Well, you can't be great without controversy, without a little bit of adversity. Jeff. That it can't be easy, that, right? So it's all good. It's all good. If you're a champion, you built for this.
You are.
You know what I mean? If you're scared, go to church. All right, we move on. Bama, Ole Miss, Jeff. What are your first thoughts when this game comes to mind?
Our buddies at the circle, while we're getting ready for the NFL games, they posted a line that in 1 hour they had to move. They posted this line, Bama -20, under/over of 80. Their first 10 bets from all their sharps at max bet value was Ole Miss +20. quickly changed the line to 14.5, under over 77.5. I will tell you this, okay? I've had this one marked since the first day, okay? This is going to be the first one to 50 wins. I'm telling you, this game will reach 90, if not 100 total points scored. I think Ole Miss will get well over their 30 points, but I think Alabama could be pressing 45, 47, maybe 50 here. So great game. Make sure you're ready to watch this game. It's going to be a shootout at the old K Corral, my brother.
Well, I think that I can go a step further. I think this could be upset city. I know we have Brian Denny, but the elements that play into the game, former assistant, Nick Saban, Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin he kind of got his football life back getting to Alabama and being able to have a not good team at Florida Atlantic, but a dominant team at Florida Atlantic. Then he comes back around and rolls back around that same recruiting situation to Ole Miss, because we all know that they kind of showed you how Kiffin was getting his talent. He's going to some of the best JUCOs in all of America and bringing in guys. He's not bringing in kids. You know what I mean? He's bringing in grown men. And so that works out very well for Lane Kiffin. And I think that if anybody can beat Bama, it's an old rival like Ole Miss. You know what I mean? Somebody that you really hate, because these teams do not like each other. These schools, because the West and those are spirited rivals, man. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Bama, Bama, Georgia, all these guys, they're very spirited with each other when it comes to these games. I know that's the whole SEC, but Bama and Ole Miss have a different mystique too, because this is real country. You know what I mean? Country on country. You know what I mean? Tuscaloosa and Oxford. Where you got heavy accents. So that's why I'm like, this game is going to be a good one. But I think that they go get your mojitos ready or whatever the hell they drink out there in Oxford before the game. Don't they have a tea party or something like that? And get ready, because it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be one to remember. 12:30 on CBS. So this game is this game gonna be getting all the hype this week in the SEC. Now let's go ahead. Let's move on to a fun game, Jeff. A fun game, because this one right here brings out the I would say this one is like a movie, man. I'm so proud of what Brian Kelly has accomplished at Notre Dame with all the way that everybody was hating. Remember, Jeff, when they got hired, they said, oh, yeah, it's just another one of those coaches from a mid-major college that'll probably last about 2 or 3 years. He probably won't get anybody come, blah, 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 blah. Within the first, what was it, Jeff, the first 3-4 years, they were already playing for a national championship with him there. The Manti Te'o team, that team. And he's put together some of the best teams in the nation and has had some of the best games over his tenure as well, too. So congratulations, first and foremost, to Brian Kelly getting those 106 wins. But it wouldn't be anything without Cincinnati. Cincinnati was where he really polished himself up at, Jeff. And a kid that I actually coached in my younger years when I was coaching, Armand Benz, caught a big-time touchdown in that Pittsburgh game, the final Big East game ever in college football. And, I always go back to that. That was one of Brian Kelly's guys right there. And he actually was able to work with Brian Kelly over at Notre Dame as well, too. So that was pretty big in itself, that he still has his Cincinnati guys with him, And I think that this game right here is going to be a coronation, because it shows the effect that he put on that program, because they've had nothing. I wouldn't say that they had the same success that they had under Brian Kelly, but they haven't struggled since he left either. They've built a good mantra. You know what I mean? And I think that I think the big thank you comes with this Cincinnati and Notre Dame game.
Well, I just looked at the opening number, which surprised me, and I just looked the way the number's moving, which surprised me even more. But the more you think about it, it's the perfect storm. Here you got a Notre Dame team who is not the same Notre Dame team of some of his past years, but they're winning, and that's what Notre Dame does. And they shocked a lot of people, not just beating Wisconsin, but how they beat them up in the fourth quarter at Soldier Field on Saturday. Now they got to get ready for the Cincinnati team, who opened up 1.5-point favorites, Pops, and then now we're 2.5-point favorites. And it's the perfect storm for them because it's going to be tough for Notre Dame to get up again after the Wisconsin win. So currently, right now, Monday at almost 4:00 Eastern, I'd be all over that Cincinnati money line. I'd buy it now before it tips 3. But I'm kind of surprised at the opening number and the way it's going. But I see the reason why, that's for sure.
Well, Jeff, I just love great moments, great games. But for some odd reason, I just got this idea that Notre Dame is really have their way with Cincinnati. Because Cincinnati played great against Indiana. But the thing is, though, Notre Dame ain't Indiana. And you know this, brother. They got it. They really, when you look at it, Notre Dame has a very all-world team because they recruit all over the nation. And I think that when you look at roster-wise, they might have one of the best rosters, like, top 5 rosters in the nation when you look at these players' resumes that are there. And I think that it's going to be too much for Cincinnati. Cincinnati hasn't played a team of this magnitude in some time now, and I think that's what's going to be the difference in this game come Saturday, in my opinion. I think that Notre Dame, nobody thought Notre Dame was going to roll Wisconsin like that. They absolutely trounced them when it was time. When it was closing time, they closed them out. And I think that's exactly what Brian Kelly is trying to get. That's what was wrong with the teams of the past, that they didn't close well. This team has closed out every single one of those games well, even though they had some issues with a very bad Florida State team. When we think about it, Florida State has went from being one of the teams that you could always depend on to be in the top 15 at least. Now they're mediocre for sure. They are very mediocre now. And then you have a Toledo team that's probably going to be one of the better teams in the MAC this year. And that's why that game was so good, because that's a prove my point game that you need to respect the MAC. You know what I mean? You can't sleep on those MAC teams. So, then you get this Wisconsin game that was supposed to be a Wisconsin, Wisconsin supposed to beat up Notre Dame, and they didn't. So now you bring in Cincinnati, Brian Kelly's old team, where it all started at. And this is a good coordination in South Bend next weekend.
We shall see.
We shall see. But I do like your thinking, though. Cincinnati can be good, but I would like that number to be bigger for me to be more attracted to it. Yeah. So, all right, Jeff, let's go ahead. I'm going to show you my Monday Night Football bets, and then we can wrap this thing up. I have I got some pretty good ones too, Jeff, So Monday Night Football. This is where I'm going. Monday Night Football. We've already both came to our conclusion that we got the Eagles here at 3. We had the Eagles at +4 on the show. I think you took them on money line. I got to double check. But we've already agreed on NFL Bet Exchange where we were going to go with this one. And we're both going Eagles. You're going money line. I'm going spread. I feel like the Eagles can be leading in the first half, and I feel like we'll get the over in the first quarter as well too. Jeff, give us anything that you might be on tonight that's a strong bet in that game.
On the Bet Exchange, we have Eagles plus the 160 on the money line. On our Circa contest, we have the Eagles plus the 3.5. I tell everyone very simply, if you're going to play the spread, you can get 3.5. You can, even if you wanted to, buy the hook to 4 just to be safe in case it's a 27-23 game. But I don't just like the Eagles here to cover the spread. I think they got a great shot to win this game. Again, I think you're going to know early. home opener, Jerry's World. This place is going to be rocking. And this is a chance for their $40 million quarterback to set the tone. CeeDee Lamb. I tell you what, Zeke better wake the hell up because Pollard has looked lightning quick the first two games. But the Eagles got to put pressure on Dak, pin their ears back. Jalen Hurts cannot turn the ball over. I look for them to get out early. I look for the defense to maybe get 1 or 2 picks late. And I look for an Eagles team to win 27-23, 28-24, somewhere in that effect.
My thoughts about the game tonight, I think the Eagles can win as well, too. But this is how the Eagles win the game. This is my keys to victory for the Eagles. Score early, play good defense, then play keep away. Try your best defense can be your offense tonight. And I think that when they have successful drives tonight, they have to be long 6-7 minute drives to where Dak isn't getting too comfortable, where you get Dak a little restless. You know what I mean? And then you get him overthinking. And that's always, to me, one of the best ways to beat the Dallas Cowboys, make them overthink. And that's exactly what the Eagles have to do tonight to win this game. And if the Cowboys come into this one and they get those big plays early, it could be lights out early for the Eagles as well, too. The Eagles aren't going to score a lot of points tonight. But if they had to get to a shootout early, I would favor the Cowboys a little bit more. But if you take it slow and steady, this is this can be an easy Eagles night. Seriously.
I agree. I like I said, establish Miles too, and when the Dallas tries to put pressure from the outside, dink and dunk to Miles in the passing game. Again, Jalen and company are not going to win this game with 2 or 3 turnovers and trying to score 31 or more points. It's just not going to happen. So I think the defense is going to have to shine here. Whose defense plays best is going to win this game, Pops.
And there it is. All right. So as always, it's always a pleasure, Jeff. I'll see you Thursday so we can go ahead and break down the NFL in-depthly. I can't wait because now I've got 3 weeks in, so now I got notes I can throw up there. And I won't be going into this one like, what should we do this week? Now we understand exactly the key elements to how we're going to produce these victories as well, too. So there it is, man. Jeff, go ahead and leave them with your handles.
Yes, on Twitter, EC Sports Invest. Follow us. We'll follow you right back. Check out our website at www.eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. We have a great special going right now. First-time clients, $99 for the first month. That's a $276 savings. Talk to us. We can finagle a way to get you in and get you on board so we can learn from each other what you're looking for in a sports service. What else? Our other handles, East Coast Sports Investors on Facebook and Instagram, Jeff Dawson. And any questions, you can always send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Pops, always a pleasure. It's Monday. This is where I'm supposed to be. Again on Thursdays in the NFL Bet Exchange. Blessed, honored, and always a pleasure, my brother.
Yes, sir. Always great to have you. Love having you here on Mondays to talk about what happens on the weekend and everything like that. And with Thursday, I look forward to it because we're rocking and rolling right now. And hopefully we end the week off very well here with the Eagles. So fly, Eagles, fly, as they like to say in Philly. All right. So with that, this is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live with the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson. And we are gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production